All right, everybody. You know how this works. It's time for another deep dive. And let me tell you, today's topic is, well, it's a lot.
It really is.
We're diving headfirst into the world of P. Diddy.
Yeah, Puff Daddy, Diddy, Sean Combs.
Right. All the names, all the hats he's worn. And trust me, we've got a stack of sources here that paint a very, shall we say, complicated picture.
It's definitely more than just Bad Boy Records and that Sean John Velour tracksuit, isn't it?
Way more. We're talking allegations and serious ones at that. Everything from sex trafficking rings to, get this, possible murder conspiracies.
It's dark stuff, no doubt. And while we always emphasize that these are just allegations at this point, the fact that they even exist and the sheer number of them, well, it makes you wonder if there's smoke. Maybe there's fire, right?
Exactly. And where there's smoke, we got to investigate. So let's kick things off with these sex trafficking claims. Now, one name that pops up right away is Jonathan Oddi. Claims to be a victim himself.
Right, and he doesn't hold back, does he? He directly accuses Diddy, DJ Khaled, Rick Ross. These are huge names of being involved in a sex trafficking operation.
Yeah, throws those names out there like it's nothing. And then you've got people like Jaguar Wright. She's worked with Diddy before. She backs up some of these claims, even mentions Justin Bieber's name getting thrown around in this whole thing.
It's true, and let's not forget about Cat Williams. He's been pretty vocal about Diddy allegedly offering him money, and let's just say it was pretty heavily implied what that money was for.
Right. No one wants to spell it out, but yeah. Then there's Choke. No joke, same story. Claims Diddy made advances on him too. So we're starting to see a potential pattern here.
A disturbing pattern for sure. And it really makes you wonder how much power and influence are at play here.
Okay, but if you thought that was heavy, buckle up, because we're about to dive into even deeper waters. We're talking about Diddy's alleged involvement in the deaths of Biggie Smalls and Tupac Shakur.
Yeah, you can't really have a conversation about Diddy without addressing the shadows that these two deaths have cast over his career.
Absolutely. And the thing is, there's this statement that really sends chills down my spine. It's about Uptown Records, Diddy's old label. Someone said, everyone at Uptown Records is gone except Diddy. It makes you think, doesn't it?
It really does. It sends shivers down your spine. Where are all these people? What happened to them?
Yeah, and then you look at someone like R. Kelly, another powerful figure in the music industry, and you see how these kinds of allegations can fester for years, even decades sometimes. Are we talking about the same kind of situation here? It's hard to say.
It really is. But let's get back to the allegations themselves. One of the biggest claims is that Diddy put out a $1 million hit on Tupac. And the person he allegedly asked to do it, Kef D.
Kef D, the same guy who's implicated in Tupac's murder.
Yeah.
And then there's the theory that Biggie's death was somehow payback for allegedly stealing from Diddy. Again, these are just theories, but it's wild stuff.
It is wild. And then you throw in the fact that the FBI actually raided Diddy's house a while back, seized a bunch of recordings. Rumor has it those recordings could implicate not just Diddy, but politicians, religious leaders, you name it.
Okay, hold on. Politicians and religious leaders? Now this is starting to feel like something out of a movie.
I know, right? Like a really dark thriller. But that's the thing about this whole story. It's stranger than fiction.
So where do we even go from here? I mean, with so much speculation, so many rumors flying around, how are we supposed to make sense of any of it?
It's tough, no doubt. And honestly, I don't think we can definitively say one way or the other what happened. That's for the courts to decide. But what we can do is take a step back and consider the bigger picture here.
What do you mean?
Well, think about it. We're talking about an industry that thrives on power, on image, on money. And sometimes in those circles, the lines can get blurred.
You're saying that maybe, just maybe, some people are able to operate above the law, that they have the money and influence to make things disappear.
It's not for me to say for sure, but it's certainly something to think about. And that's what I find so fascinating about these deep dives, you know. They force us to ask the tough questions, to confront the possibility that things might not be as they seem.
That's for sure. And in this case, it seems like there's a whole lot more to P. Diddy than meets the eye. We're talking about someone who's been at the top of the music industry for decades, someone who's built an empire. But if these allegations are even remotely true, then it makes you wonder what that empire's built on.
Exactly. It makes you question everything.
Well, I think that's a good place to leave it for today. A lot to unpack here, folks. Be sure to let us know your thoughts on this deep dive over on social media.